In this video, you'll learn how the seeding unit of the matrix is constructed and which specific settings you can adjust. These settings should be made the same for all rows to ensure a uniform crop stand. First, you set the placement depth. To do this, there is a lever with a scale to the left of the seed hopper. With this lever, you adjust the depth control wheels of the seeding unit. To adjust the placement depth, lift the lever and manually shift it to the desired position. Once you have done that, make sure that the lever clicks back into place properly. 1 notch corresponds to approximately 1 centimeter of depth adjustment. Furthermore, it is important to note that you can also position the lever so that it engages at a slight angle to adjust by only half a notch. This effectively enables the placement depth to be adjusted in increments of about half a centimeter. It is very important that all units are set to exactly the same level. In practice, there is an important special case. The rows located behind the tractor tires often work in firmer soil, and therefore usually need to be adjusted to a slightly deeper setting. Especially when dealing with mechanical Coulter pressure adjustment, it is a common practice to work half a notch deeper here, to compensate for these specific soil conditions. In the next step, we will take a look at the Coulter pressure of the seeding units. The Coulter pressure ensures that the unit works cleanly in the soil and maintains the set depth. Depending on the equipment, the adjustment is made either mechanically or hydraulically. For mechanical adjustment, there is a control lever for the Coulter pressure at the front of the seeding unit. This can be set to 5 different levels. In the front position, no additional Coulter pressure is applied. As you move up through each additional level, the pressure increases by about 30 kilograms, reaching a maximum of approximately 110 kilograms of Coulter pressure. To adjust the Coulter pressure, simply pull out the locking pin and lift the Coulter pressure adjustment handle. Then carefully move the mechanism to the desired level and let it lock into place. Finally, reinsert the pin to securely lock the setting. For machines with hydraulic pressure adjustment, the setting is made via the control terminal. To do this, navigate to the page for the seeding unit and select the section for Coulter pressure adjustment at the top. There, select the pressure adjustment. Now you can activate the Coulter pressure there using the on and off function. To adjust the Coulter pressure, press the plus or minus button on the right. The Coulter pressure is indicated as a percentage. Here, about 5% corresponds to the minimum and 100% to the maximum pressure. To put it simply, soils that are significantly heavier and firmer require a greater amount of pressure so that the seeding unit works properly in the ground. For light or loose soils, a lower amount of pressure will usually be sufficient. It is absolutely important that the seeding unit moves smoothly over the ground and does not start to bounce or lift off. Next, you will need to adjust and set the position of the press wheel. This component is located right behind the Coulter and is responsible for pressing the seed down firmly after placement to ensure excellent soil contact. To adjust the press wheel, you will need to operate the short lever found on the left rear side of the seeding unit. With this lever, you can set the press wheel to 3 different levels. In the first level, the wheel works only with its own weight of about 5 kilograms. At higher levels, the pressure increases accordingly and ensures better soil contact. Especially under dry conditions, higher pressure is advisable. The seed can only absorb enough moisture if it has good contact with the soil. On lighter soils, low pressure is usually sufficient, while heavier or drying soils require more pressure. After that, you adjust the disc scrapers. These are located behind the press wheel and ensure that the deposited seed is covered with soil again. The adjustment is made using the handle behind the seed hopper. To set the working depth and engagement of the disc scrapers, operate the handle. The further back the handle is positioned in the hole pattern, the deeper the working depth of the disc scrapers. Behind the disc scrapers is the packer roller. This model also features its own lever, which is conveniently positioned over on the right rear side of the unit, and is noticeably somewhat longer than the others. With this handle, you adjust the pressure on the packer roller. In the first front position, the packer roller operates with only a little pressure. In the higher positions, the pressure increases accordingly. The adjustment should always be adapted to the soil conditions. An excessive amount of pressure can negatively impact seed placement. Insufficient pressure can lead to poor crop emergence. Finally, carefully examine the clod remover, if it is installed on the machine. The clod remover is located in front of the Coulter and clears larger clods or stones from the seed row. The adjustment is made by loosening the bolt and adjusting the height of the clod remover. After adjusting, secure the clod remover again with the bolt. As a general guideline, it should be positioned to run about 1 centimeter above the ground. Before you start sowing, you should carefully double-check the settings on every single one of the units once more. Wishing you much success with your upcoming season.